This is going to be a really short one, but it's one of the best tools I have to offer, and it comes specifically after, and this is part of the initial training process in with this types of sales that I'm doing with law of attraction and what we call authorship, is retraining someone's actual expectation. And that's a process. Some people can do it really quick. For me, it took about 60 to 90 days when I first stumbled across it. And I think now that I understand more about how it works, at least from my experience, I can support people to retrain it. I've been doing it with a client or two, and it's pretty quick turnaround once you understand how it works. But once we have that initial retraining of someone's expectation, we then have them in a place of manifestation. We tend to manifest what we expect, not necessarily what we want. Expectations are rooted in the past, of our past life experiences. It's what we've come to expect. So it's a matter of retraining that expectation to match what we actually want. Usually they're out of alignment, but when we put them together, you want something now, you feel good, and you actually expect it to happen, then you're looking for it, and it can actually show up. Most of the times you're only looking for what you expect anyways. So coming back to the point, this is how a practical use of authorship in sales is very effective. I've got a great example for you because it just happened the other day. And how to gain power, like personal, like honest, real generative power from an environment that seems like you're disconnected from or you have no power over. So at my job, they have this lead policy, and the lead policy is, it's like you may not finish the job that you actually start because of the way the customer's memory is. We have a lot of elderly customers and things like that. And the way the lead policy is if the customer doesn't ask for you and they call back in the second time or the third time, they're not due the sale. It goes to the person whoever answered the phone, and there's no disputing it, there's no fighting it, it's just the way it is. So it's kind of like a top-down oppressive type of maintenance policy or lead policy that people can steal your deals. And it happens a lot where I work. Now, that's not very powerful for me. As a matter of fact, it feels like I'm giving my power away to them, or they're taking it away from me. What I do in a situation like that, especially the ones that bother me the most, it really is sometimes difficult to get wrapped around it and have it work for you rather than against you and be opposed, but it's like there's a way to work with it. So there's a chance that the leads I have, making it about me, the individual, the ego, that leads that I start, I may get closed by the person over there or the person I may never know about it. So I'm always working against the current, it looks like. So what I realize is that, how do I make that work for me? How do I author an experience that is more beneficial to me? So what I do is part of my reminders list, and this is part of the retraining of someone's expectation. I have a visual and auditory reminder list that kind of creates the visual framework around me. I keep it on my computer screen to continuously refer to and look at, so that I'm reminded of the things that I want to show up. So to make that policy work in my favor, basically what I did was this. I asked myself a question, and it's on the reminder pad, and it says this: where is the person that has already spoken to somebody else that really deserved and wanted to speak to me, is ready to buy, and is closing? Or something along those lines. I can read you the word for it, but that's basically what it is. I took what you would call, say, a negative and turned it into a positive. But really what I did was being accountable for the entire environment like I created it. How do I make it work for me? It's like, if you can picture the grooves on a key, you can see the physical grooves. But what if that key was actually part of a bigger shape that you can't see? And you get to fill in the space that's missing to make it like a perfect rectangle, instead of just a jagged key. So you're looking for the piece that's missing. And this happened literally yesterday. I put that on my reminder pad not too long ago, and yesterday, and it's funny how the universe works, and if you're just open to seeing it, you can see everything kind of just line up and support you. I got a call for a different agent yesterday, and I'm not about taking anybody's deal. I do what the company wants as far as the policy. You know, you're supposed to give them an option. I can transfer the call, or I can answer any questions if you want. I do it easily, professionally. If they want to talk to somebody else, I want to get that person their call. It's giving, receiving. It's always going to come back. A lot of people try and take advantage of the policy and steal the deals. Like they're literally just trying to get their own. I do it a different way. I let it go, and I help either way. I help them if they want to close. I help if they want to talk to somebody else. I just help. So what I did is I did exactly what I was expected to do. What I was told to do by the supervisors. I did. I sent the guy an email telling him that there's a call waiting for him. I went back to my business and things like that, and 20 minutes later, the same customer calls back. And this other guy that I sent the email to, which is exactly the way the company wants it. They don't want you tapping people on the shoulder. They don't want you sending them a Skype. They don't want you putting a note on their desk. They want you to do the policy, like offer a choice to the customer. If they want to leave a message, you send an email. You carbon copy the supervisors, everything like that. I did all that, and then the customer still, like the way the circumstances lined up, the customer ended up coming back to me on the second call, and I did it again. I told him, like, look, I can do this or I can do this. What would you prefer? And they're like, well, I can't wait for that anymore. I'll close with you. So I literally authored the exact customer that I wanted and did the right and moral thing, you might call it, and never came from a place of taking or stealing or anything like that. Always from a place of giving, both to the other agent and to the customer, and a deal fell in my lap. That's not an accident. And I didn't see it at first. It took me, the end of the day, I'm like, oh, look at that. I actually authored that. That's how you get power, is when you recognize you asked for something and it actually showed up.